Hello there guys, welcome to one of my videos. Manchester United have just drawn 2-2 with Leicester City at the King Power Stadium. I am disappointed because if we had have won, we'd have gone second and we'd have just been 2 points behind Liverpool. So it is a missed opportunity. Now there was end-to-end chances, especially in the early stages of the game. Now Marcus Rashford missed a sitter at the beginning. It was a lovely delivery from Bruno Fernandes. Marcus Rashford had headed it and it went over the bar. Jamie Vardy, he was quiet in the game, looked very isolated. I think he did have a couple of chances. One of the chances was obviously offside anyway. Marcus Rashford also had a good opportunity in the second half, produced a fantastic save from Kasper Schmeichel. Anthony Martial scored, but that was disallowed. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer gave his perception on the game, and he said that 1 point is not the worst result, but he said we should have got all 3 points. He says we should have closed down quickly for both of Leicester's goals. Now the goals, the first one came from Marcus Rashford. It came from a throw-in. Bruno Fernandes got a touch and it was a lovely finish from Marcus Rashford into the corner of the net. I think Marcus Rashford now has 50 goals in his career. Good to see Bruno Fernandes get an assist. Leicester equalised. It was a goal from Harvey Barnes. It was an absolute rocket. You know, David De Gea couldn't do anything to prevent that. Harvey Barnes, I think, enjoyed a good game for Leicester. It was James Maddison that had got the assist. In the second half, we went 2-1 up. It was a goal from Bruno Fernandes. It was Edison Cavani that had got the assist because he played the pass through. By the way, it was a lovely finish from Bruno Fernandes. And Leicester's equaliser was an Axel Tuanzebe own goal. But at the first, it was actually Jamie Vardy's goal. Perez crossed the ball into the box. Jamie Vardy must have hit it, then it's come off Axel Tuanzebe. Perez had actually come on in the game. David De Gea, he made a mistake in the game and that could have been costly. Victor Lindelof also went off injured in the game. He started at right back, surprisingly. I don't think he enjoyed the best of games, Victor Lindelof. Obviously, we brought some substitutions on in the game. We saw Edison Cavani come on. I thought he actually might have started, but he didn't. We saw Paul Pogba come on. I actually thought Paul Pogba might have started as well. And we saw Axel Tuanzebe come on in the game. I thought Eric Bailly and Harry Maguire enjoyed good games. I thought they had Jamie Vardy in their pockets. Because like I said earlier on, Jamie Vardy was very quiet in the game. I said Bailly did deserve another chance, which he did get, because he did very, very well against Everton in the Carabao Cup quarter-final. Luke Shaw had a pretty good game. I thought he got forward well at times. There was a goal scoring chance as well from that free kick in the game, which Luke Shaw was obviously involved in. Bruno Fernandes, he also enjoyed a very, very good game. Marcus Rashford, he enjoyed a good game. Anthony Martial, he enjoyed a pretty good game. But Tom Inway, I don't think he enjoyed the best of games, if I'm going to be honest with you. I thought he looked a bit legless, did McTominay. Definitely lost the midfield battle with Youri Tielemans. Fred wasn't too bad. To be honest with you, I was surprised that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer started Daniel James. We started him on that right-hand side. So he shouldn't have really started Daniel James, so he did get that wrong. James, though, did put a good performance out the other week in the 6-2 win against Leeds. Obviously, Tellez, he didn't play any part. Wan-Bissaka, he's out with injury. That's why he didn't get selected today. Mason Greenwood, he also didn't play any part in the game. But Leicester, they are a good team. You know, a draw's not the worst result. Obviously, we did want to win the game. But like I've said to you, Leicester have got very, very good players. You know, they've got a very, very good manager in Brendan Rodgers. Brendan Rodgers has been Leicester manager now for almost 2 years. And last year, I think he signed a 5.5 year deal with Leicester. And it's good the way he's transformed them. Leicester were also very, very consistent under Claudio Ranieri because they won the title under Claudio Ranieri back in 2016. You know, Brendan Rodgers, though, has managed quite a few clubs in his managerial career. Obviously, he managed Celtic before Leicester, enjoyed a few years with them. Before then, he was at Liverpool. Before then, he was at Swansea. And before then, he was at Reading and Watford. And he's made quite a few signings since he became Leicester manager. Like I said, they brought Fofana in earlier on this year. They brought Timothy Castagne in. They obviously both played today. Castagne, I think, was one of the full-backs, and Fofana was one of the centre-halves. Obviously brought the likes of Dennis Pryor in, did Rodgers. He brought Youri Tielemans in, got him permanently, brought James Justin in, and also brought Perez in. And don't forget, Leicester have let good players go. They let Ben Chilwell go to Chelsea during the summer. They let Harry Maguire go to us back in the summer of 2019. They let Danny Drinkwater and N'Golo Kante go. They both went to Chelsea. So Chelsea have done good business with Leicester in recent years. And they let Riyad Mahrez go to Manchester City in the summer of 2018. So yeah, this draw means Leicester do remain in second. Last season, we did the double over Leicester. We're beating them 2-0 at the King Power at the final game in the league last season. And we're beating them at Old Trafford by 1-0. On my next video, I will be giving you my player ratings from the game. But yeah, we have done very, very well away from home this season. You know, if we'd have beaten Leicester today, that would have been 11 away wins in a row in the Premier League. And when we beat Sheffield United the other week, we became the first team to win 6 successive away games after conceding first in a single Premier League season. We've won 2 games at Old Trafford this season. That was against West Brom. We was very fortunate to win that. And obviously we're beating Leeds by 6 goals to 2. That's our biggest win this season. Our next game is at home to Wolves. We've got to get back to winning ways in that one. We should be beating Wolves because Wolves haven't been that consistent this season, where they're sitting like 10th or 11th in the league. Both games with Wolves last season in the league were draws. Obviously drew with them at Old Trafford 0-0. That's when obviously Bruno Fernandes made his debut for the club, and we drew with them at Molineux 1-1. We played them in the FA Cup as well last season, drew with them 0-0, but then obviously beat them in the replay 1-0. But Wolves have actually beaten us quite a few times. You know, they knocked us out of the FA Cup quarter-finals, was it, a couple of years ago, and Wolves reached the FA Cup semi-final for the first time in, 21 years. Obviously, their current manager is Nuno Santo, been at Wolves now a few years. Before he was at Wolves, he was at Porto, before then Valencia, and before then he was at Rio Ave. Wolves have got some good players in their team. They've obviously got the likes of Raul Jimenez. He's one of their key players. I think he's out with injury. They've got Adama Traore. He's one of their key players. They've also got Ruben Neves. He's one of their key players. They've got Moutinho, one of their key players. Then Donker. He's one of their key players. He's been out with injury as well. Connor Cody, I think he's also one of their key players. Wolves, by the way, made quite a few signings this year. Obviously, they brought Fabio Silva in. They brought Nelson Semedo in from Barcelona. They brought... Who else did they bring in? They brought whoever in. That's another player they brought in. They brought Fernando Markel in. They brought Luke Matheson from Rochdale. They got Vitina. He's another player they got. So yeah, brought quite a few players in this year. Wolves have got Johnny, but I think Johnny is out with injury. Now after Wolves, we do play Villa. That is on New Year's Day. That's another game Manchester United should be winning. Then after that, it's Manchester City in the Carabao Cup semi-final. So games are coming up thick and fast for Man United. You know, the Carabao Cup is a priority for us because it is a chance of us winning a trophy this season. And it's very imperative that we get our first trophy on the board under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. We've not won a trophy now for almost 4 years. You know. But Solskjaer did say prior to the game against Everton that our players are desperate to learn how to win trophies. But despite the draw today, I still think Man United are in a good vein of form. I think we're unbeaten now, is it, in like our last 7 or 8 league games. You know, there's been a lot of Manchester United fans that have been saying Ollie in recently. There's probably Man United fans that are still Ollie in. Maybe there's still a few that are Ollie out, but earlier on in the season, there was a lot of Manchester United fans demanding Ollie out of the football club. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's priority is leading the club to long-term success. My concern about Solskjaer is his decision-making, because there's been a lot of games he's managed at Manchester United and he's made mistakes, and obviously that's cost us. But on the other hand, there's been games where he's showed tactical flexibility. You know, I've still got to say that Ollie is out of his depth at the football club. But he won't be under any pressure, you know, from the 2-2 draw today with Leicester. Obviously, the pressure's eased off him, reflecting on our good vein of form recently. But he has been under pressure quite a few times since he got appointed in as Man United manager, because obviously we've endured bad periods, and obviously there has been talks of Mauricio Pochettino coming in as he obviously was the favourite to take over, but obviously now Pochettino's set to take over at PSG by the looks of things, because PSG have just sacked Tuchel. Massimiliano Allegri, he's been on our agenda a couple of times. Julian Nagelsmann at one point was on our agenda. But yeah, we will stick with Solskjaer for this present time. I think he will still be Man United manager next year. His job is safe until at least next year. Could still be Man United manager at the end of this season. But I still think we are in this title race despite the draw today with Leicester. There's some Man United fans that think now, you know, we're not in the title race. But obviously their perceptions would have been comparison if we'd have beaten Leicester today. You know, we are, third? What are we now, like 4 points behind Liverpool? But they were saying, like, today we had to win to make our title dream a reality. And I've been saying anyway, you know, we're not going to win the league this season. I'm very, very sceptical about it. I think we'll win the league again at some point. And I did say, didn't I, that 21 is coming. But I think certainly our squad is good enough for the top 4 finish. It's probably good enough for a top 3 finish. And it's definitely good enough to, you know, win a trophy, but just not the Premier League. But Solskjaer was saying prior to this game today against Leicester that we must ignore the Premier League title talk. And he was saying stuff like, you know, we could easily concede 4 goals against Leicester. You know, this was obviously prior to the game. You know, you had Roy Keane coming out after the 6-2 win against Leeds last week, and he says that Man United can challenge Liverpool for the Premier League title. But Solskjaer has been Manchester United manager now for just over 2 years. Not so long ago, it was his 2-year anniversary at the club. He's managed over 100 games for the football club in all competitions, and he's got a contract with Man United until 2022. Yeah, this is his second full season at the club, and I've got to give him credit because obviously he's got us to the Carabao Cup semi-final this season. Man City's obviously going to be a difficult game. Obviously, last season, it got us to 3 semi-finals, got us qualification for the Champions League, and also got us third. Last season was his first full season at the football club. So I've got to credit him for what he did there. You know, he's spent over £200 million since he became Manchester United manager. And he's endured 4 transfer windows at the football club. So the January transfer window will be his 5th transfer window as Manchester United manager. You know, we've obviously seen a lot of players leave the club as well since he got recommended in. But obviously in January, we are looking to make signings. You know, as you all know, there has been a lot of players on our agenda. You already know the news on Moises Caicedo. The last time I read up about him, he said that he's set to undergo his medical with Man United, or he was undergoing his medical at Man United, should I say. And it said he's set to sign a 5-year contract, and Man United will get him for around 4.5 million. You know, Dario Extra, which is an Ecuadorian outlet, they said that Man United have been in advanced talks with Independiente del Valle, and it said we did reach an agreement. And it mentioned that we outbid AC Milan and RB Leipzig for his signature. Independiente del Val said that they wanted around 5.5 million with add-ons and a 120% sell-on clause. If he comes to Man United, Moises Caicedo, he will be the second Ecuadorian to represent the club after Antonio Valencia. But he recently said that Chelsea could hijack our move for him, and Chelsea have been in talks. Brighton and Newcastle have also been interested, but the player has already revealed that his favourite club is Man United. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has brought quite a few young players into the club because he said, didn't he, when he taken over at Man United, that he wants to bring young players in that can obviously develop. David Alaba, now he's obviously been another player on our agenda. Oliver Kahn, who is the Bayern Munich chef, he provided us with an update on David Alaba, and he said it's likely he'll leave Munich. So he's saying the exact same thing as what Karl-Heinz Rummenigge said, because he said that he appears to accept that David Alaba will leave on a free transfer. Bayern Munich have been in negotiations over getting him a new contract, but obviously he's refused to sign a new contract. It's actually saying that we're unlikely, though, to get David Alaba. Solskjaer has made a new centre-back his number one transfer priority, because we do need someone to go alongside Harry Maguire, and David Alaba is predominantly a centre-half, but he's also predominantly a left-back. Before, he's been deployed as a central midfielder, a right winger, and a left winger. And he is the age of 28, and he's been at Bayern Munich for several years. He's won around 20 major honours, and he's scored, 30 odd goals in 404 games in all competitions. When he was younger, he played for Austria Vienna, and he did have a loan spell with Hoffenheim. Chelsea, it says Chelsea are going to enter talks for him. Man City have been in for him. It says they've made a formal offer. We've made a formal offer. Real Madrid and Barcelona, I think, have been in for him. Don't forget, we have revived our interest in Jack Grealish. It recently said Villa are expecting bids from us and City in January. I think reflecting on Grealish's good performances, Villa do now value him at around £100 million. During the summer transfer window, we wanted Grealish, but Villa's valuation was £80 million, and that put us off straight away. Back in September, Jack Grealish signed a 5-year contract with Aston Villa. So he committed his future with them. But up until this point, he's spent the entirety of his career with Villa. Liverpool, he said Liverpool are interested in him because they're seeing him as a possible replacement for Salah, because it's actually said that Salah's unhappy at Liverpool, apparently. Now, Jadon Sancho, I'm expecting Man United to go in for him next year. There's a good chance he could still leave next year, Jadon Sancho. Earlier on this season, don't forget, Dortmund sacked Lucien Favre, and Sancho made an admission earlier on this season saying that it has been hard for him this season. He was our number one priority target during the summer transfer window, was Sancho. But Borussia Dortmund wanted £108 million, and we was not willing to meet that valuation. Said a few times during the summer transfer window, though, that we'd agreed the personal terms, the agent fees had been agreed, but we couldn't come to an agreement on an actual fee. But Dortmund made it clear by saying that, we had until the 10th of August to sign the player, and we obviously missed out on that deadline. Haaland could go in for him next year, but his move to Man United is complicated because of Mini Oriola's relationship with Man United. I said it was a shame we missed out on Haaland back in January, because he would have been an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer type signing. Now it apparently says we're looking at Dominic Calvert-Lewin as an alternative to Haaland. But yeah, Woodward has recently changed his transfer strategy. We're looking to strengthen up in 4 positions like I've already gone through with you. We're looking to get a winner, a centre-half, a defensive midfielder and a right-back. And hopefully next year, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer gets the backing that he deserves. Because during the summer transfer window, he wasn't backed enough by the board. And because we missed out on all of his priority targets, and Ole showed his frustration quite a few times towards the board during the summer transfer window. But Woodward's come out several times to support Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, hasn't he? But yeah, like I've said to you, the board's been one of the biggest problems at the club for several years. We're also going to focus on the outgoings next year as well as the incomings, because he is still deadwood at the football club that we need to get rid of. Now, I think the players we're going to get rid of next year is Jesse Lingard, Phil Jones, Rojo, Romero, because Romero's now third choice goalkeeper. Juan Mata could be sold next year. Could even Bay be sold next year. Bay's a good centre-half, but he's too injury-prone, like I've mentioned. But he's a better centre-half than Lindelof, even though Lindelof's improved recently. Paul Pogba could still leave next summer. Very sceptical of leaving January, probably, if he does leave. Magalo will probably leave next month when his loan expires. Brandon Williams, there's been rumours of him going out on loan. Could we sell James next year? There was also rumours of Dean Henderson going out on loan earlier on in the season. There has been a lot of Man United fans saying that we should put Dean Henderson now as our number 1. It recently said we could raise over £30 million in January player sales. But like I've said to you, we have been playing catch-up for the last 8 years. Obviously, we've had different managers with different philosophies. 3 managers have been sacked since the Ferguson era, and that was David Moyes, Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. You know, we've spent over £1 billion on players as well in the last 7.5, 8 years, and we brought around 36 players in since Sir Alex Ferguson left. And we haven't won the Premier League since 2013, so we haven't won it now for around 8 years. But I've said to you, haven't I already, no manager at Man United will last as long as Ferguson did, or they won't replicate Sir Alex Ferguson's legacy. Ferguson endured 27 years at the club, won a total of 38 major honours, including 13 Premier League titles, but Ferguson didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United, so he didn't settle in straight away. But since he's left, we haven't been the same. Before he came into the equation, we weren't good because we weren't good under Ron Atkinson, we weren't good under Wolf McGuinness, and we certainly was not good under Frank O'Farrell. We got relegated under Frank O'Farrell back in 1974. You know what I mean? But I think we can get back being competitive, definitely under Solskjaer. You know, we have enjoyed some good games under him. We've enjoyed good results as well. We've also enjoyed poor games and we've enjoyed bad results. So obviously Solskjaer's tenure at Man United has been up and down. Reflecting how long Ollie's been at the club, he has gained managerial experience and he has learnt quite a bit. But obviously before he came to us, he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde. And before he was at Molde, he was at Cardiff. And he enjoyed a very, very short tenure with Cardiff. His record at Cardiff was absolutely disastrous, you know. So anyway, on my next video, like I said earlier, I'll be giving my play ratings from the game. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.